What is going on, guys? We are in an era where NFL teams have learned to avoid throwing so much money at running backs. They are easily replaceable, and it's hard for them in this day and age to play at a high level or a long period of time. Just look at guys like Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, and David Johnson, who are already experiencing a noticeable decline before the age of 30. As the season draws closer, here's a look at 6 NFL running backs in danger of losing their starting jobs in 2020. Number 6, Chris Carson. Carson has crossed the 1,000-yard mark in each of the last 2 seasons, and he has totaled 16 total rushing TDs over that span. So why in the world do we have Carson on our list? Well, he had a whopping 7 fumbles last season. That cannot happen. He has to have better ball security if he wants to retain the starting job in an offense that's always been friendly to running backs. He's also coming off a season-ending hip fracture, and bouncing back from such an injury is easier said than done. On top of that, the Seahawks have a loaded group of running backs now. 2018 first-round pick Rashad Penny may finally break out. I mean, you could hope so. And Seattle signed veteran Carlos Hyde, who's coming off a strong season with the Houston Texans that saw him record 1,070 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. Hyde has continually excelled anytime he's received the starting duties. Why can't he do the same in Seattle's prolific offense? When you add it all up, even his impressive campaigns in 2018 and 2019 don't guarantee Carson the starting job for 2020 by any means. Number 5, Raheem Mostert. San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan runs an offense that quite simply can make any running back look good. You've seen guys like Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, and Raheem Mostert excel in his system. Mostert was the 49ers' lead back in 2019, finishing with 772 yards and 8 touchdowns. But he took his game to another level in the postseason, with 336 yards and 5 touchdowns, leading the 49ers to a Super Bowl 54 appearance, where they narrowly fell to the Kansas City Chiefs. Mostert requested a trade in the offseason following unproductive contract talks with the 49ers. However, the two sides eventually agreed to a restructured deal. So we think Mostert is here to stay. You would think, right? Well, the journeyman running back only has 1 season as a starter under his belt. He'll still have to hold off Coleman and the returning Jerick McKinnon for the starting job. And both men have shown the ability to be a true lead back. It also wouldn't be a surprise if Shanahan implemented a running back by committee plan. Who knows if Mostert will be able to fully repeat last season's success. And maybe McKinnon or Coleman will turn out to be the more productive back. And in 2019, we all witnessed how much Shanahan likes to ride the hot hand. He may have been the 49ers playoff hero last season, but Mostert will really have to earn the full-time starting job here in 2020. Number 4, Devin Singletary. By the time the Buffalo Bills' 2019 season had officially come to a close, it looked like they had found their new franchise running back in Devin Singletary, after taking the Florida Atlanta prospect in the 3rd round of the 2019 draft. Singletary took some time to earn his fair share of touches in a Bills backfield that also included ageless wonder Frank Gore. He received only 20 total carries in his first 4 NFL games, but from week 11 on, he never had less than 14 carries in a single contest. Things were looking up for Singletary, and then the 2020 NFL Draft happened. And for the 2nd consecutive year, the Bills used their 3rd round pick on a running back. This time, it was Zach Moss out of Utah. Suddenly, there's rumblings that Moss could eat into Singletary's workload, and even replace him at some point during the 2020 season. The coaching staff has indicated that Moss could take on the role formerly held by Gore, which would mean a lot of early down and goal line work. But if Singletary struggles with ball security, something that has plagued him in the past, it may not be long before we see the Bills' more recent 3rd rounder take the reins in the backfield. Number 3, Sony Michel. Michel was the unsung hero of the New England Patriots' 2018 Super Bowl championship season. With Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski on the decline, Bill Belichick leaned more on the rushing game. Michel had 931 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns, and he added 336 yards and a whopping 6 TDs in the postseason, including the game-winning touchdown in Super Bowl 53 against the Los Angeles Rams. But even though Michel hit 912 rushing yards in 2019, he wasn't quite as explosive. He averaged just 3.7 yards per carry, and over 14 less rushing yards per game compared to 2018. And don't count out the ultra-skilled sophomore Damian Harris, who was surprisingly not used in his rookie year. Veteran James White will have his fair share of carries too, even though he is used more as a pass catcher. One way or another, Michel has plenty of challengers for the starting job, and Belichick isn't exactly the most patient coach in history. So yeah, Michel better regain that 2018 form, or his days as a starter could be numbered. Number 2, Mark Ingram. The Baltimore Ravens racked up 3,296 rushing yards last season, the most ever by a team in a single season. Mark Ingram, who the Ravens signed in 2019 free agency, was responsible for 1,018 of those yards. The guy was crushing for my fantasy. But Ingram obviously isn't the lone stud running back on this roster. I mean, reigning MVP Lamar Jackson rushed for 1,206 yards, the single-season record for a QB, and Gus Edwards chipped in with 711 yards on the ground of his own. Justice Hill only saw 58 carries for 225 yards in his rookie year, but he wouldn't be surprised if he saw an increased role. And of course, the Ravens also drafted Ohio State star J.K. Dobbins in the second round with the number 55 pick. You know John Harbaugh is going to use him right off the bat. Edwards, Hill, and Dobbins, those are three potential number ones that Ingram has to outplay. All three of them are obviously much younger and carry way less mileage on their bodies. So not only can Ingram lose his starting job, but he could even be the team's number 3 running back when all is said and done. This isn't a knock against Ingram by any means. I mean, he's really good. He's dope, to be honest. It's still his job to lose. But the Ravens are loaded at running back. We'd argue that they'd have the deepest backfield in the NFL right now. So Ingram won't have an easy time holding onto his job here. Number 1, Ronald Jones. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been making huge waves this offseason, and they made another when they signed former 4th overall pick Leonard Fournette after he was unceremoniously released by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Despite the big-name acquisition, Bucs head coach Bruce Arians still insists that this is Ronald Jones' backfield, but we're having a hard time buying it. Rojo struggled to assert himself as Tampa's top back in 2019, when his only real competition came in the form of Peyton Barber. Jones may begin the 2020 season as the starter for the Bucs thanks to his familiarity with the playbook, and Fournette's unfamiliarity, but it's hard seeing him holding off his much more talented counterpart for long. Despite being cut 3 years after being a top 5 pick, Fournette remains a dynamic back who is capable of being among the game's elite. Even on a terrible Jaguars team, he still managed to eclipse the 1,000-yard mark in 2019. He's a beast, and Arians knows it. Ignore the coach speak. Fournette will soon be the man in the Bucs backfield, not Ronald Jones. What other NFL running backs could lose their starting jobs in 2020? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, we are on everything. Twitter, go find us, go subscribe, go follow. Of course, make sure to like this video if you liked it. It takes one click down below. We post videos every day, so you should subscribe. Because we post videos every day. Sports content every day. Sports are kind of hanging on a thread right now, so come here and check out some news and stuff. I don't know. Just subscribe. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and I will see you guys next time. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's it. Yeah. Okay, cool. One more. Yeah.
My knee.